All right. Hey.
Yeah, but only from within.
We are live. Welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is Group D, Brothers in Arms, Episode 10. Boy, what a journey has it been. No rhyme intended, but it just accidentally happened. When we last left this group off, you guys had a pretty impactful RP session. The session started with you guys in the Kalkin office. Kytrina was in council with somebody who had came to ask her for protection. Upon entering her meeting, you guys found out this person was a Lilnagian Arcanist, who was basically a war refugee. She deserted the Lilnagian army, the mercenary army, and fled deeper into Arter Sarai. The person she was traveling with was a general by the name of Kiris Matthews, and he had turned himself over to our Dorian authorities twice. She is currently trying to find a way out of this country, and the Kalkin, after heavy convincing, decided to allow her protection inside of the Kalkin embassy, or the Order House, and putting a sentinel to guard her at all times. From there, you guys informed Kytrina of everything that happened inside of Zenith Rise, the Magnate's Keep, that an assassin had killed Marcus. You guys had information that could have prevented his death, but nobody had read it. Along with the assassin, you guys got some other information. There's something else you learned at the keep. I don't exactly remember what it was. Yeah, I'm not sure the information Galay imparted on you. Yep, I remember. You guys found out the assassin was in the castle. You could have prevented it. You were unable to. You went back to your order house and spent the night resting there. And after you'd rested up, the next morning you guys split up to do things inside the city. Celebris went and trained with Makana and Kytrina for the morning. Johan had a pleasant conversation with Reyna, the Arcanist from Ililnajai, finding out that she is actually just an inexperienced child. And then Father A and Barty, I believe.
We went to Galay.
Yeah.
And I talked to Councilwoman Keeve.
Yeah, you guys went to Galay that morning and looking for information on who could, on setting up a caravan to smuggle Reyna out of the country, and then also looking for information on who could verify Ariana's heritage, or rather her ancestry. You guys were told that Councilwoman Kiv would be able to. And you guys headed out to the Ethics Council to set up that meeting. You got a moment to talk with the councilwoman, and she said she would see Ariana if you sent her by her office chambers in the next few hours before she had to vote on handing over the country to the Warden of Storm's Nest. Celebris and Lance went to the Chantry of Harmony on a secret mission. So we're going to pick up with Celebris and Lance as your guys' journey takes you a little bit more time.
Alright, just to start off with, in honor of Jordan not being here, down to pound.
The other question, now that I'm looking at this page, I wrote this so I would remember. That path I drew, do you guys have...
Completely wrong.
Yeah, I was about to say, you guys have the option, when traveling through the city, there are ferries that go from the city proper to the Shaper's Retreat. So once you get to the Shaper's Retreat, do you want to ferry back, or do you want to... Oh, do you want to ferry there and ferry back, or do you want to walk there and ferry back, or walk there and walk back? Just for time-wise, that's going to help me know like how the party's coming together.
Who's ferrying us or them?
The two members headed to the Chantry of Harmony. It is across the river. There are ferries that go to it, and the ferries go, into the center of town.
I'd say probably we'd be ferry them, just for time's sake.
Okay. Not gonna save you much time walking there, but on the way back, you guys can take a ferry across the river. It is.
Alright, so yeah, we'll walk there and then ferry back.
Yeah, it is 8 silver for the ferry. The Shaper's Retreat. All right. Oof. So you guys have been here before. I can re-describe this place to you. The main building of the Shaper's Retreat. It is a giant earthen temple, structured more like a singular, large, circular tower. When you guys get inside of this place, in the center of the tower, there's in the center of the tower there is a smaller, just completely sleek cylinder with a slight bend to it as it forms into the ground and bends upward and then goes straight out to the center of the straight up through the center of this tower. In the upper reaches, you can see there are walkways and buildings attached to the center tower inside of this place. But on this bottom floor, you can see a pillar of light going down through various doorways that lead into the center area. Everybody here is walking, of course, barefooted, and once you get inside the tower, the ground near the door is like well swept, but it is a dirt floor. There are 2 wings that attach onto this place: the public library and the sage's quarters. Everybody is moving about their business here. Everybody is dressed in monk's robes.
Before we head inside, would have removed my shoes, my boots.
All right.
Same.
Who's it next to me? Monterey?
Celebrus.
Celebrus. I get y'all two confused all the fucking time.
Okay.
Well, one's a monk that hits well, and the other one's a monk that heals well.
That's the thing. It's like, I know they're both monks, so I'm always like, you're Father A. No, you're Father A.
I'm the tall one, he's the old one.
So, I'll look at Celebrus while I'm doing it and be like, tradition. As I'm putting my boots into my backpack.
You forget this is my chantry, too.
Well, it is?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is the chantry I was at before, when I was arrested.
Oh yeah, that's right, you told me you weren't liked by these people. I forgot that. Well, not liked, but I'm just gonna drop the subject, how about that?
It's fine, Lance. I was expecting as much coming here, so...
I'm just gonna drop the subject, not gonna talk about it because I feel like I'm being rude now. I'm gonna shut up. As I walk in.
So this is the actual chantry that Celebrus was at, correct?
Yes.
So he would know the master and everything?
Yes, you were, while you were here, you were tutored under a sage by the name of Kraylor, Sunsiri. He was in charge of, training people to become sages for, city towers.
Celebris is gonna find someone walking by and, bow to them as so, and ask where, Master Sunsiri is.
Ooh,
right.
Is Neri with us or no?
You guys did not tell me you brought a Naren.
Nope.
This was
Damn
a
it,
secret
okay.
mission. A secret agent mission. Alright, so as Celebris stops a group of 2 monks that are walking by, bows to them, and asks, where Kraylor Sunsiri is. As you do, there is a look of terror on the older monk's face as they put out their arm, shielding the younger one following them, and says, "Oh, have you come for revenge?"
No, And he actually, hearing this, winces a little. I've come for a lot of things. Revenge isn't one of them, I assure you. In fact, I'm more wondering if you were all looking against me for it. I know I have sinned, and one of the things I'm here for is to ask for forgiveness.
The woman's going to kind of inspect you and Lance and say, Sage Sunsiri informed all of us that you'd been pardoned by the prince, and to be on the lookout for you coming back to the Chantry.
I assure you, and he holds up his arms and everything, showing them he has no weapons. He doesn't even bring Sasha with him. I've come unarmed and am here purely on a matter of peace.
She nods and says, Hilren, go and inform the go and inform the Soul Hearts that Celebris has returned. The younger monk with her nods and runs off. She gestures towards the library wing and says, "Come, I'll show you to Sage. Sunsiri."
I thank you, my lady.
Is that the sage that I talked to the last time I was here?
It is Ocular
Hey!
Sunsiri. Alrighty. She leads you inside of the library. Here, there is a still everybody is dressed in their brown monk robes. There is a man. He's carrying 4 books, and he is. It looks like he's in the middle of explaining something as you guys get closer. He stops, looking at you approach, and says, and as you guys get closer, you're gonna hear him say, by the sleeping god he's returned.
Yes, I have. Hello.
Lance, you're actually, when he said, Celebris says this to you, you can see he has a pure look of seriousness on his face. Not you.
Oh, no, 2.
Celebris will take 1 step forward and bow to Master Sunsiri.
He is gonna look at you bowing. Return the gesture as only seems like the slightest amount of politeness. As you know, he is aware of your rank, and he's gonna say, "Speak, boy. What have you come back for?"
There are a few things that I've come back for, Master. First and foremost, and Celebus, as he says this, literally drops to his hands and knees. I ask for forgiveness. In my time locked away and everything that has happened ever since, I've had a lot of time to reflect and repent. I can never bring back and undo what I did, but I ask for forgiveness. The teachings of this place have not escaped me, and I let my anger control me that day, and since I've done everything to make sure that never happens again.
As you bow down and beg for forgiveness, he's going to set down. He's going to set down the books. He's going to sit down the books that he was instructing the class on, and look to his group of monks, and says, "Everybody, take note. This is a lesson that each of you will have to come to learn soon." He begins walking around. Celebus and says, "The second Umiya teaches forgiveness in her chantry. She commands her followers to love and respect all. Our God does not teach. He sleeps, and it is up to us to interpret his will through the life he lived for us." He gestures, placing a hand on Celebus's shoulder, and says, "I cannot forgive the life you've taken, but we can work and always work with sacrifice to ensure that that does not happen again."
Is Lance looking over at Celebus right now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Don't worry.
No, you're gonna see a tear drop. You're gonna see tears falling down his face and one hitting the ground. Celebus raises his head and just doesn't say anything. He just nods in acknowledgement to his statement. Celebus is literally crying at this.
Yeah, he's gonna look at you like crying for a moment and say, "The prince gave you a chance to be free from the blood that was on your hands. However, I still think of Kiris's face each time I see you, of the moment we found his body."
And I think of his face every time that I wake up in the morning. I can never bring him back, but I'm spending my days now making sure this country doesn't fall apart and fall into the same pit of anger I did. That is the other reason I came here today, Master.
He nods and says, through service and penance, you may not find peace, but you'll find harmony here.
Thank you. And Celebus will stand. The other reason I came here today, Master, is I don't know if you're familiar with my friend Lance here.
Hi. Wave. Arms have been kind of crossed, kind of like just sitting here waiting. Like, I'm not going to comment on this, just let it happen. As soon as it does, it's like, hi, and then arm goes back to crossed.
He's gonna roll an insight check. Look at Lance and it's like, I believe we've met. I was busy teaching them the university's filing system.
Yeah, you were schooling these the newcomers. I remember. It was a sight to behold.
We've come here because we've heard tell that this chantry has yet to pick its candidate for council.
He shakes his head and says, No, we've picked. The decision is just currently being debated upon.
Well, who's pick? Last time I was here, y'all said y'all had rescinded. I think y'all had said y'all rescinded your pick.
He's gonna say, we have selected Lady Nakart, and she declined. But our selection, our hearts remain set on her as she's been working tirelessly to keep the capital safe. However, with the recent withdrawal of her forces, maybe the debate will swing in a specific direction soon.
Well, not to throw another wrench into the debate terms, but Lance here, who is also a knight, was a knight of the magnate, of the former magnate before and after his rise to power, is a noble of a family
from Ardor. I hail from Fado, not but a couple days ride from here.
And I think he would make an excellent candidate for council.
He is going to stare at Celebris for a long moment, like just a very long silent moment, and then say, "Is that all?"
Well, is that all in regards to what, Master?
Say that one more time for me.
Sorry, I said, is that all in regards to what?
He's going to, he's gonna start walking away from, the class, and just, nod with his head for you to follow. As you guys follow him, he's going to say, just very under his breath, just, you killed another student here. Flee from the jail, get pardoned by that crazed boy, and have the nerve to show up and ask for this random sorcerer to be our pick for council. What name does he have for himself? What privilege do you have to ask for such a thing of me?
Well, I have heard this.
Yeah, he's talking to both of you guys.
I may be just a sorcerer, and what name do I hold? That may be unknown, but the Marfell name, nobility nonetheless. It's small, but in Fabel. Now, but the reason is though his death may be, his death was after I left under quit being his knight, basically. Until I left, he was alive, even though there was I don't know how to phrase this. While I was working for him, assassination attempts against him failed. He remained alive until I left. I know that sounds a little suspicious. I know that sounds really weird. But I did my job. I protected the leader of this country, and I still try to protect the people of this country.
And that's what I am doing.
And he's going to say, and what is your stance on the Accord, the Nazaram cause, the war with the Lil Najai, Ililnagai right now?
My stance is, I want peace. That's all I really care for. I want our people to be protected, no bloodshed, and try to prevent as much bloodshed as I can between our nation and theirs. I have not seen any real attempt other than fighting from our councilmen, our military, anything to promote this peace. Even though we ourselves haven't made great strides, but we've been thinking and trying and plotting to figure out how to promote peace and end this war before any more needless bloodshed happens.
And he holds forward a hand and says, or doesn't offer it, but just kind of like as a point, and he says, "And of the Nazaram cause."
I don't know what the Nazaram calls this.
You can roll me a history check, or you can respond with that.
History.
Both of us.
18.
History.
18. That is Nazaram. It is an organization of made up of 3 nations that fights to keep the worst of the Terai at bay. Lance would know the woman who is the ambassador for Arder Sarai's branch of the Nazaram cause is Ambassador Dardel, and she hates you.
Yeah, I know she does. I forgot about that. They do their job. That's all I can say. I don't really have a stance on it because I have not encountered Terai before. I just know of them, but though as our country stands, it is illegal for them to feed but not be. And if it can stay that way, we keep it that way. They enforce the law.
He's gonna look at Lance for a moment, just like his expression just dimming, and says, "It's the High Council's job to advise the magnate and political matters, and I just don't feel like this one has ever looked outside of our country's borders."
Very well true. I have not left Arder, but I don't need to leave Arder Sarai to know that it's best to protect our people. One does not need to leave a country to know that it should protect its people.
Master, right now, our country is on the brink of complete and utter destruction and internal destruction. Maybe someone who's seen what it's like inside the battlefield and inside the magnate's offices would be the best choice for this kind of situation. There aren't many people that want to put themselves in positions of power right now because, well, the assassination of the former magnate and his council.
As you guys are walking with him, he's going to get to the edge of the library ward that's connected back to the main tower, and he's going to gesture to the center. He's going to gesture to the center of the building where that smaller tower is that extends throughout the entire thing, and says, and he's going to say, "Our God sleeps there. He sacrificed, and he gave his life not only once but twice for the good of our world. Arder Sarai's duty is not to its people, but to the world. And if we have to sacrifice for that, that's something that we must be willing to do."
There is willingness to sacrifice, yes, but what is a country, though, its people?
If we sacrifice our entire country, how are we helping anyone? How are we helping the rest of the world? For us to be able to help anyone, we need our people, and we need everyone together, working together, striving together.
He's gonna just look, like eyeball to eyeball with Celebris, like, and his blinking everything has stopped, and he's gonna say, "I will consider your words."
Celebris is gonna 90-degree straight down bow. That is all I ask of you, my master. If you wish it of me as well, I will not return to this place. Though, if I may, I would like to come and train here once again. There is still much for me to learn.
He's going to like just return the bow, just once again the slightest modicum of respect, like it is just a tilt of the head, and he's gonna say, "All are welcome here, my lord." Will that be all?
Celebris is gonna stand up and smile at him for a second. Please, master. My title means nothing here. If I'm here for any reason, even right now, I'm nothing more than a former student and a concerned citizen of this country.
He's gonna just nod along to that and say, "You should speak to the Bredricks."
The Bredricks? And who might they be? Sorry, I'm unfamiliar with the name.
He's gonna, or rather he continues and says, Lord, Gibson Bredrick and Karis Bredrick, Karis was in charge of the Bredricks, which is the family that rules, the Kalu province, where, Faybel is.
Oh, that's bad of me to ask that then, since I'm from there. That's awful.
Yeah, he says, Lord Bredrick sacrificed everything, all titles, and forsook all of his claims and family to go serve in the Nazaram cause. He would have been our first pick for counselor. And he's gonna put a hand on Celebris's shoulder and say, "His son is young and foolish, but there's much you could teach him."
If you think I'm worthy of teaching someone, that is the greatest compliment you could have given me, master.
He walks away and says, "Mistakes are always lessons."
And I'll spend the rest of my days learning from mine.
You guys are alone in the chantry. Not alone. There are other people here, but nobody is like currently attending to you. You are going to see in the distance in this room, that younger monk is returning with 2 fire spawn. They are armored and just very casually moving towards you. Not like, they're watching and, waiting for Celebris to make a move. It's just like, if something was to happen here, they're only a good sprint away.
Celebris just kind of starts chuckling to himself. Well, so far at least I haven't ended up back in jail.
Well, you were officially pardoned. Do you guys want to do anything else at the chantry, or do you want to head back to the rest of the party?
We should meet up with the others, and then we'll go talk to... someone's power went out.
Oof.
Is that Lance? Mark one up his Lance, right?
Yeah.
His power went out. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna say we head out. And real quick, what was the name of the lord that he told us to go talk to?
Gibson Bredrick.
So that's next step in my conquests.
Alright. You did learn what the most important thing, though, that they're looking for in a candidate. Sacrifice. The rest of the party was at Councilwoman Keeve's office. Where did you guys want to establish a place to meet up at? All back at the Order House, or were you guys going south?
I thought we agreed to meet at the Nakart Manor, where we figured.
Meeting at the Nakart Manor.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah, that's what I meant on the south side of town was Somia. All right.
Yes.
That's where we go.
So, the party is going to be able to meet up at Somia. It is the late afternoon by the time everybody is coming together. The keep in front of you is, or rather, at the Nakart Keep, you're going to see this place. I'm trying to think if any of the party had been here before. No, none of the party has been here before. So this keep shoots out of the center of Somia, towering over the rest of the buildings. It is it is the only keep on the south side of town that is not in one of the inner districts of the city. So Mia itself, or rather the Nakart Keep itself, is made up of, it's a smaller version of Lithelia's keep back in Somar Villa. It's got 4 towers on each end of it, each one bearing a different tabard of the of each of the different 4 ascended, and over the central entrance under the... Why is my brain not wording tonight? Portcullis, there we go. That leads into the center of that leads into the central entrance for this place. There's the Nakart. There's the Nakart banner hanging over this, which is the silver rapier with a green and red rose wrapped around it. There are several patrols of soldiers here, and you guys can see inside of the tower there are multiple rooms alight and active with people. Approaching this place, nobody is going to recognize you.
As long as they don't get hostile.
Yeah, 8 spears all pointed at you. So stay back! I feel threatened!
This is a safe space.
What do you guys want to do?
Well, who's there right now?
The party is there. You guys have met up at the Nakart Manor.
So everybody?
Yes.
Everybody
because
in the club getting tipsy.
Hold on, here we go. It is... Oh, sorry, there you go. It's pretty equidistance from both of the locations you guys were at.
Huh.
You could even pull this number right here.
Okay, that's fine.
assume we walk up and state our business. Or go full group A. I'm open to suggestions.
Last time I went full group A, it didn't work well.
All right.
It works for me.
Celebris will try to catch the attention of one of the passing patrols.
And I believe Sindel is not going to be with you. Yeah. You guys are going to catch the attention of some of the people keeping watch at the gate approaching. They're going to say, what business do you have inside the keep? It's currently occupied.
Hello.
And remember, the Kalkin don't have any symbols that they openly wear that denote them as such.
I have these hands that openly denote that I'm not a man you fuck with. But anyways.
We're here in regards... he kind of gets a little closer so where not many people can hear him as he whispers, but they can. Did, Lady, oh, wow. Nayfield.
Nakart.
Nakart. Did Lady Nakart arrive yet?
The man is going to laugh in your face and say, Lady Nakart never leaves Somar Villa.
He means Lady Anadelia.
He nods and says, the entourage, or rather the Surreal Rentalpaw.
Kenfield is the name I was looking for too. I wouldn't mean Nakart.
The Surreal Rentalpaw, Kenfield / Bertolf. Or rather, she would be going by Bertolf. Bertolf, entourages have all arrived.
Could you let them know that we've arrived to escort Lady Ariana? They'll recognize us. I'm with the Kelkin, and he does pull out his training manual to show he has something.
Okay. He's gonna look at you a little bit strangely and say, the Kelkin emissary already arrived earlier.
Who?
Who?
Oh boy.
He looks to the other guards and says, the woman with that little girl.
Oh.
The
woman with the little girl. Who's that?
Who?
Yeah, the guard is. You're gonna see him step inside the portcullis. He comes back out about 40 seconds later with a ledger and says, "Send." Oh God. Sindel. I have never rolled up her last name.
Raheem Dixon.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Sindel Lilda. And Reyna. Oh wait,
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, we can.
Do I sound awful or do I sound okay?
You sound
You
good.
sound fine.
Okay, because I'm using the headset that usually goes to my computer and my phone right now. The only thing is my internet's taking forever to come back up online, so I'm using my cell phone.
Okay. I did roll up her name. By the way, it is Sindel Seer. And and he looks down and says, an Arcanist Reyna and Gia Ori.
Well, there's just kind of like go. Ugh. Does she not get that she shouldn't use her title so openly?
He shakes his head and says, but they said they were under, or rather, she was under the protection of the Kalkin, and I am aware that Lady Nakart has made this keep available for you and your lot.
Well, if you need verification of our credentials, you can ask Sindel to check on us. She'll vouch for us.
Question, what did I miss?
You guys are at the Nakart Keep. Sindel has arrived before you. All the parties that were coming into town have made it in the afternoon.
Okay, so we're all like met up now.
Yes.
Okay.
The patrol of soldiers passing by outside are going to lead you guys into the keep. He's gonna send one of them off and say, I have to find Lethalia's steward. Man, it's been a long time since this guy got some news.
Stewart the steward?
No, it is Thas. He's gonna say, go find Steward Thas. And the Kalkin woman that is also here. He's gonna look back at you guys and say, my lords, we can get you set up in a room in the upper reaches.
No, this is fine for now. You know, the quicker we can move along, the better.
Alright, after he leads you around the portcullis and into the central hall of this place, you're gonna walk through some doors that seem like they were the original, like these large wooden double doors that seem like they were the original entrance of this place, and you're gonna step into like the central hall and see a large staircase in the back of this front room that leads up a floor and splits going in opposite directions. You're also going to see two sets of doors to your right and a single set of doors to your left. This whole chamber itself is about 60 feet in, this whole place is about 90 feet in diameter. And as you say this is fine, he's going to nod and say, I'll leave a handful of my men to protect you, but since we have so many important dignitaries here currently, we need to keep the perimeter safe.
Of course.
He nods, and five of the 8 soldiers that were with you guys walk off with him. You guys are left alone in the lobby.
Silverus is going to turn to Anderson and whisper to him, "Why didn't I know Sindel and her were coming here?"
Do I remember them saying they were gonna do this?
Yeah, Reyna was going to stay with Kaitrina for the entire day. And then you guys convinced Kaitrina that it would be more advantageous for her to stay in the protection of the keep. And so she sent her with Sindel instead.
We figured Reyna'd be safer here.
So, guys, what are we doing now?
Well, right now we're waiting for Sindel to come down and verify our identities.
While you guys are talking, a steward is, or rather, the guard is going to return with the steward, and you guys are going to loosely recognize this person. You've seen him. You saw him with Anadelia at the Nakart Keep, but he did not say anything and left your guys' presence as soon as you met with Lady Nakart.
Was he not with her when I had my like one-on-one lie of a sermon?
Oh yeah. He wouldn't have been with her right then, but walking away from that, he would have rejoined her. But yeah, you would recognize her, Stuart, Thas. Thas is going to approach you guys and say, more members of the Kalkin joining us today. This is... I'm
not of the Kalkin.
Throws Lance
Everybody
out.
only.
He's not a member of the Kalkin, but he's with us. I can vouch for his honor and dignification for those situations.
Oh, I have honor now.
He nods and says, currently our forces are slowly exiting the city, moving southwards, all making their way here to Somia. Will you guys need rooms inside the keep in case this unrest breaks out in the city?
That would be lovely, honestly.
I could go for a room.
That way I don't have to bunk with the rest of the Kalkin house.
He's going to nod and say, "We'll have some more rooms cleared out around the library ward."
I'll be fine back at the Kalkin office, so you don't need to worry about me.
Yes, could you prepare a room for me and three retainers?
Hi, I'm not with the Kalkin, but can I use your resources?
He offered, so I mean, I gotta house my people. Come on.
But then they can't have, like, private nails sessions with me.
Well, I meant like me a room and 3 retainers a room.
They have to bunk together. They're not important enough to have their own.
They're normal. That's normal how servants work.
He's gonna nod and say, "And your name, sir?"
Charming.
Charming?
Lance Marfell.
He nods and says, "Oh, the Marfells. Are you pledged as Soulsworn right now to Lady Nakart's service? Or Soulsworn to Lady Nakart's service?"
I'm not sworn, but it could happen in the future. Right now, let's just say we're acquaintances right now.
Lance is a free agent. Great offers.
Yeah, I'm kind of like we're acquaintances.
He nods and says, "We'll have diplomatic quarters set up for you."
Lovely. Thank you.
Otherwise, he is going to walk away from the party, and he's going to shoo away the guards that are standing behind you guys. He heads off to the eastern wing of the estate.
Hey, wait, before you go.
He looks back at you.
Lady Surreal is arrived, is that correct? And Lady Bertol?
He nods and says, "Yes, that is one of the reasons security is stepped up."
Of course. Are they turned in for the night, or are they allowing company? Because there are matters we need to discuss with them. That's the reason of our arrival, actually.
He's gonna just kind of look at each of you and say, Lady Surreal is, Lady Anadelia is inside the city. Her wife is here at the keep. Or, I'm sorry, he would refer to her as her vessel is here at the keep.
Probably he's gonna cringe at that, as he's not exactly happy to hear about that. He didn't like that phrase.
Oh.
Yes,
Oh no.
Without the friend.
She's here too.
He nods and says, Lady Anadelia has to vote on several councils that she's on today.
How about Lady Bertol? Is she available?
He nods and says, I can lead you to her chambers.
If we're not intruding, that would be wonderful.
He's gonna turn and step. Like he was mid-step going eastward. He's gonna turn and head towards the large stairs and say, come, follow. He leads you guys up to the fourth floor of this estate. And leads you to a room that overlooks the northern part of the city. As you guys get into this hallway, you're going to notice there is a whole patrol here of knights just going up and down this hallway, and a whole patrol of guards going up and down the hallway, and a knight standing outside of the door he knocks on. The door opens, and you guys recognize her bodyguard dressed in blue. That was with Lady Bertholf back in. That's something weird. I'm gonna have to get used to calling her. That was back with her in Somar Villa. He looks over the party before Thas can say anything. And he opens the door. Sitting in the room, looking out of the window towards the keep, is going to be Lady Kittenfield. Where did I put her thing? She's got to be in Arter Sarai. Right. However, she's going to look back at you guys and stand, wiping off her face as she does so, and says, the Kalkin are here. Of course, great.
I really should just put a sign on my chest. It says, I'm not Kalkin while I'm walking with y'all guys.
Roll with it, and or be like, I'm just their religion.
Yeah, it's either I assimilate or I put a sign up. One of the...
Celebris, seeing her wipe her face.
She probably just had something in her eye.
Oh, you know.
No, he just looks at her and
whatever
goes,
brother had in his chest.
ow. That was painful. Celebris is gonna watch her wipe her face and say, I take it you've heard the news then.
She nods and says, Anadelia knew as we were traveling to the capital. She informed me.
I want to say that we did try to help you.
Father A will drop to one bowing and say, I take full responsibility for your sadness, my lady. It was my duty to protect him, and all I could do was watch.
I'm gonna allow you a deception check with advantage on that. She doesn't have.
It wasn't technically a lie.
Yeah, it is,
You did a
because you
lot
said
more
you...
than just watched.
Yeah.
I mean, all I could do was watch. I did not have a chance to prevent the stabbing. After that,
But you finished him, like...
Oh no.
It was like Triple H came through with his finisher, but then you just you came out of nowhere with the RKO.
I'm really hoping that she is a shit roller.
Well, as you say that, she's gonna standing. She's still gonna say, "Please you don't have to pretend to sympathize with me. I know the horrible things my brother was accused of. It's just a shame we didn't have the opportunity to talk him out of his position.
Yeah, it's a shame.
We honestly do feel sadness and regret of his passing. No one should have to be taken away earlier than their time.
As you guys are looking for words, she's gonna speak and say, "Well, I didn't come here to mourn. The country needs us right now. I've written my guard that I left in Kalu to start recruiting anybody to our cause. Hopefully with Lethalia's army and with any forces I can add. We can take
Wait,
the
cause?
capital.
What cause?
She's gonna point to her and say, making me the magnate.
You don't need troops to make you a magnate.
No, but some troops would be handy with the mountain wardens on the move.
Hey, Brownie, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
You said the prince, threatened everybody. If you're not loyal to him, he's coming for you. Are
Yeah.
troops still moving, or did that all just kind of die when he died?
So it's only been a day since that happened. As far as
Word probably hasn't been up.
yeah, as far as you guys know, everything is still going on. Those letters were mailed via messenger, or were sent via messenger. Because birds can't carry swords and stuff. So it's going to be kind of like a spreading effect. As every place within a day's travel of the capital knew within hours, and then moving out from there, another day passes. Everybody within there knows, and moving out and out and out and out and out.
What would my character think is going to happen? Do I think that's going to continue, or is that just going to stop on its own?
War was declared. That is going to continue. People are mobilizing.
Yeah, we're going to need all the troops we can get, more than likely.
If we could just stop the entire thing before it actually
I'm just worried
causes
there's people under the prince that would want to seize this opportunity for themselves.
There's a lot of those, I can guarantee.
Yeah, absolutely.
As I stated, my more main concern is the mountain wardens marching into the city. That'll be here within a day or so.
Again, fine. Later.
I'm not saying that we want to. I'm not saying we want to have a giant war between us, but
Oh no, I know that's what you're saying.
Ariana is going to nod and say, regardless, since my claim won't hold any weight without supporters, I think the best we can do is unite the country. And if we are able to do so, that will speak weight to my ability to lead, and perhaps the council will vote me in regardless.
Well, there has to be a council vote you. Or there's not.
Is there any way we can
Ethics
prove?
Council.
Can we prove Ariana's lineage? Can we use that to try to get some support?
Aggressively clear his throat. There's a councilwoman, Kiev. From what I understand, that she was a good friend of Miss Bertolf's mother. She could lend credence to her lineage. As vile a woman as she seems.
That might be a good starting place, just to try to get some support going.
We spoke with her earlier. She'd like to meet with Miss Bertolf. Presumably to see her and gauge her at her word.
Where was she located?
She'd be at the Ethics Council.
Okay.
When were we supposed to re-meet with her?
Is she trustworthy
As soon
though? I
as
mean,
possible. I wasn't sure if she'd be here. So
but is she?
we can move as fast as we can.
But can we trust her not to just flat out attack Bartol here?
The woman called me a dirty smuggler, so she, at the very least, is perceptive.
What does she want? If we can appeal to what she's looking for, we might be able to win her trust and her support.
She didn't say. I don't think she trusts us, so leveraging might have to come after we prove that we have the correct information.
I'm just
Well,
scared
let's
that
put-
she's gonna one of an assassin that just like the same one that was in the
Well,
castle.
let's put it this way, Lance. This time we'll be there to actually guard.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Well,
she
I
makes-
am.
Worried.
Because assassins
I'm not
work
worried
quick.
about that. But at the very least, I have no intention of letting Miss Bertolf meet with Councilwoman Keith alone.
Oh, no,
The
that's-
guard
that's-
in blue
that-
is going to chime in at this point and say, "She's my charge. She never leaves my sight."
That very well may be, but I mean I'm not doubting your skill. It's from what I heard, the magnate was in a heavily guarded castle in front of 2 knights and was stabbed and got away.
He wasn't.
I'm not doubting your
particularly
skill. I'm
loved.
just saying that assassins work very quickly and are good at what they do. So if they
Well, he
want
wasn't-
someone dead, they
He wasn't particularly loved. I wonder if there might have been some inside help to facilitate that happening so easily. And this councilwoman might like Lady Kinfield more than any of us, so that's something to keep in mind.
And also, Lance, there was only 2 people in the room with him at the time. With all of us, there won't be a repeat.
Yeah, I think Lady Kinfield will be fine. I don't think she's in any danger right now, at least.
As you guys are having this conversation, you already see Ariana like dressing for the cold weather, throwing on her traveler's cloak and overrobes. As you guys finish on that last sentence and look back towards her, she's gonna say, "Oh, I have my honor guard already. Let's go. There's no time to waste."
So Rich just kind of laughs and looks at Lance. I don't think you're gonna tell her no, do you?
I mean, I'm not saying not to go. I'm just saying, let's be careful. We've already had one person get assassinated in front of us. Let's not make it 2.
If someone tries anything, I'll die before I let this happen again.
Well, that's reassuring. But let's go, Spiffy.
All right. You guys. Oh, wait. Thas has never left your room. She's going to turn to Thas and say, "Master Thas, we need 2 of your fastest carriages." He bows and say, "Yes, Lady Bertolf, right away." And leaves before you guys. Ariana is going to start walking out the room with you guys, moving towards the north entrance of the keep, where the stables are located. In the time walking there, does anyone want to say anything to her? Guys,
I want to ask her how many people are we going to be having with us? How many of her, guard and other people does she plan on bringing?
She looks at the party and says, "You are my honor guard."
Oh, okay, just us then.
Fine by me.
Wow, I've gone from one knighthood to another.
Get with the program, Lance. Technically,
Yeah,
I was
really.
honor guard for 18 years.
As you're walking, she says,
Don't say that.
I was taught in the ways of duty and honor, but also loyalty is very important to me.
Well,
She says
loyal.
if
You treat me well.
Yeah, if you lean on me, in turn I'll lean on you and give you my strength.
That is a perfectly agreeable arrangement for me.
Let's do it.
All right, you guys get to the carriages. You are going to be able to ride to the council chambers in style. The carriages aren't particularly faster than you guys like hastily making your way through the city. There are paths and roads they have to take. That, you know, on foot you guys could, you know, be cutting through alleyways and smaller, less kept streets.
Okay, BRB. My internet just came up, so I'm gonna switch over to the computer and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, Ariana's a lady.
Yeah,
Ladies
exactly.
Equally run through the city.
It's like, we gotta get there.
Yo,
Yeah, it's like, we gotta get there quickly. Give me your fastest carriage, which is slower than running, but probably, you know.
I'm about to say, there's two monks in this party. It's definitely slower than running.
Yeah. On the ride to the council chambers, she's going to. Well, let's see. Each carriage can fit 5 people. There is her guard, and then Barty, Father A, Lance, Johan.
Yes.
Ayla, or Thalin.
Oh.
And that is everybody in your guys' party, I believe.
And me.
Oh, and Celebris, I'm sorry.
No, you got left behind.
So, 3 people would have to ride in their own carriage.
We'll stick Johan in that one.
Yeah, so Johan and 2 more people would have to not ride with Ariana. Would anybody volunteer, or would it just be luck of the draw? Because otherwise, I'll just roll the die.
Luck of the draw.
I was about to say, Father A, I feel would be insistent on being on the Ariana.
All right. So,
I'll volunteer, so just roll for one, I guess.
okay. Fallen, and then the last is Celebris and Celebris, Barty, and Lance. So one of you guys. So I'm gonna roll a d4. 1 for Celebris, 2 for Lance, 3 for Barty. Reroll on a 4. Barty would be riding in the other carriage.
Okay.
Bum, 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 bum.
All right. So, for the people in Ariana's carriage, as you guys are bumbling your way through these streets to the council chambers, she is going to look to the other members of the party and say, "This is Tarum. He's served my family faithfully." Ever since I was a little girl.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Is that the driver?
And she's going to go on and state, loyalty is something I've, in my time living in Kalu, I've come to depend on.
You ever been to Faybell?
She's going to roll and says, yes, it's a lovely little retreat outside of Kalu.
I grew up there. Maybe you've heard of the Marfells.
She goes on and says, however, I've never allowed myself to be open to the opportunity for betrayal.
Okay. Just saying, we grew up in the same area.
As if things come down between allegiances between Lady Nakart and myself, and she looks at all of you and says, "Who would you serve?"
That's a hard question.
You,
'Cause-
without question.
Well, here, let me rephrase it. It's a hard question for me because I know neither of you. I don't know Nakart that well. I don't know you that well. I barely knew the prince. I just served under him because I was paid at the time. But I learned of some of the practices he was doing, and I disagreed with it morally, so I left. If it comes down between both of you and I can stay out of it, I'm going to stay out of it.
She looks Lance in the eyes and says, "Well, Noah will always treat you with honesty. If there's anything you want to know, ask."
If I think of it, I will. The only thing I say is, if I see that not only you hold true to what you say, I'll follow you. Obviously, I don't know Nakart that well, so it's really up to who I see as a best choice. Right now, I don't see either as a choice right at this moment, just for the fact that, again, I don't know y'all. I don't know what y'all's practices are, how y'all hold your words, what your ethics are, stuff like that. I don't know it. I'll learn you a little bit. I'll make a decision then. I'll give you an answer then. But as of right now, I'm on your side.
She's gonna just give like a small nod. The only other person in the cart is Celebris.
Celebris will look at her and goes, "I am a knight of the Magnate, and you are going in as Magnate once we get everything straightened out, so from there I would say I would decide without question."
She nods and says, "Well, let's hope this Kiev can be of some use to us. My father wrote of her very briefly in his letters. From what I remember, she held a great disdain for our family."
Her disdain is mostly for your father, from what I could gather. She holds your mother very high.
She seems to be thinking heavily on those words. You guys are going to arrive at the council chambers. Tarum, well, yeah, she told you guys his name. Tarum is going to be the first one to get out of the cart. He surveys the area. And then helps Ariana out. Never once like leaving her side instead.
At least he knows how to do it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do you guys follow them inside?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. RP event for the other carriage. Barty, Thalin, and Johan riding along. Johan is gonna say, "This is messed up. I should be in the other carriage." Barty says,
We're all going to sleep.
Fight me for it.
Anyways, though, you guys are going to arrive at the council chambers and see the rest of your party going inside. Man, this unnamed, oh god, what is that? This unnamed steward here is just getting all of the spotlight at the chambers. Upon you guys arriving back, she is going to recognize you from before and stand up before anyone else can move forward to help you and say, I can lead you to Councilwoman Keeve's office. She left a request with us should you return to bring you straight there. It is almost nightfall, and you guys can see there is a large gathering of people in the amphitheater area of this council. Lanterns are lit, and they're just you guys hear like the murmuring of voices coming back towards you. The woman stands up and leads you guys out of this chamber to the northeastern halls towards the individual offices.
As we're walking, I want to ask her where they're meeting Belle.
She is gonna look back to you and say it's the final vote for, or rather, it's the final meeting for deciding who the next magnate will be until the High Council is selected.
Who are the candidates?
Am I one of them?
She says it's really just a technicality. The magnate's position falls to Oris Sundell, Warden of Stormness.
Not that person, please. That Iron Fist?
She nods and says, although the Ethics Council has been stalling things and filibustering the vote, it has dragged on much longer than it should have.
I don't blame him. That dude's an Iron Fist.
No, he's great. He's going to make Artisera great again.
He's going to build a wall.
Using my bones as a
arriving at the Ethics Council's office, you guys are going to see there's a woman in here which you guys are going to recognize, the party members who have seen her before. You're going to recognize her as Paulina Keeve. She is tall. She has her black hair pulled back into a ponytail. And she is wearing magistrate's robes that are completely open on her right side. As you enter, you can see she is drinking something at her desk, standing above it. She turns to you, and she is actually, you can see a little bit of sweat trickling from her forehead. She's going to, as the woman leads you into the chambers, the councilwoman's going to step forward to her and say, Listelia, that's all. She bows and leaves you with Councilwoman Keeve.
Nervous about something?
Say it again?
Nervous about something there?
No, asking her that, she's gonna say, no, I've been talking for the past few hours that you guys have been gone.
Is that why you sweating?
She nods and says, the job of the job of the counselor isn't always just to sit and listen.
I believe it. No, I know. I'm not doubting. I'm just asking. I didn't know if it was a nervous sweat or just exhaustion.
She is, and I'm assuming the party is kind of forming a circle around Ariana. As you guys step in here, she's
getting stabbing range.
Yeah, she's gonna look past your guys' shoulders, as most of you are much taller than her, and she's gonna say, "So is this the winter flower?"
No, this is a person.
Mm-hmm. It's like I said, do I get that reference?
I don't.
Not really.
I'm gonna look at her like, no,
you
it's
can roll a
person.
history check on it if you want.
Is she saying it to?
Mhm.
Is she saying it to Lady Keeve, or who's she saying it to?
Lady Keeve is saying it towards Ariana.
14 on that history check.
Yeah, it is it is not something Father A has heard before.
Can I roll an insight to see if it's like a code or what she's trying to get at with it?
You can.
Not bad.
It's looking at Lady Keeve. Give that remark. It seems like some genuine term of endearment.
Okay, like a pet name as a child or something.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Ariana is going to step forward from all of you, moving around Father A and Celebris, standing in front of Councilwoman Keeve. She's going to bow and say, Councilwoman, I was informed that you were going to confirm my claim. She begins circling around Ariana, and she's going to say, and what might that claim be? Ariana says, I'm the last child of celestial magnate Respis Bertolf, daughter of Celia Bertolf, who's the daughter of the Eye of the Mountain, the blood that bonds our country. The councilwoman moves her hand towards Ariana's ear, moving her hair. She says, you seem barely old enough to be a scribe, let alone rule a country. You must be, what, 20 now? Ariana, looking straight forward as the councilwoman's behind her, says, yes, councilwoman. She continues and says, you have your mother's hair, her eyes, by the four you even sound like her. We're practically the spitting image of Celia. Makes me wonder if that dog Respis even fathered you. There's a moment of, you guys see Ariana's, fists clench, and she inhales, and then just kind of lets it go. The councilwoman looks to the party and says, I meant no disrespect. Respis, your father, your family, they called themselves the Wolves, right? Nevertheless, this doesn't make sense. How are you here, and the rest of your family's dead? Ariana is going to... you guys see her swallow, and she says, my father was afraid of the assassins that plagued the capital, and that as a baby would become a target for them. He sent me off to Kalu to be raised to be raised safely in secret. Councilwoman Keeve stops in front of Ariana and stopping at her desk, and she says, I know damn well about the assassins that roam this city like a lawless port. Those very same assassins gave your father the seat of power he sat on, and for all his fear, he never did a thing to bite the hand that fed him. She begins pouring herself another glass of water and says, it's the delicious hand of fate that those very same assassins would be the ones to kill him. She looks towards the party and says, disrespect intended.
Disrespect taken.
Before the party can, do anything to jump her, Ariana is going to step forward again and say, I care not for your disdain for my father or your disgust for his actions in office. I care only if you'll support my claim as Ariana Bertolf, the last living daughter of celestial magnate Bertolf. Paulina is going to nod and say, take a sip from her water and say, "You've brought a smuggler and killers into my office, and I assume you have letters from this dead man."
I'm not a killer.
I'm all things stated.
She's gonna continue and say, "You even got the birth," and she's pointing at Ariana now and says, "You even got the birthmark behind her ear correct, which tells me either as an impersonator you really did your research, or you're actually that baby girl that I held in my arms all those years ago before sickness claimed her." She takes another drink and says, "This is why my next statement pains me. As a member of the Ethics Council, it is my job to establish a guiding moral philosophy for the arms of Artur Sarai's government. And that philosophy is that we must do what's best for Artur Sarai. You're young. You've lived a life of luxury in the East. What good can come from putting you on the throne?" She places the glass down and says, "I cannot support your claim."
Alright, I'm gonna look at her and say, "I appreciate your judgment and your wisdom, but you're not the person who decides who rules and who doesn't. The society recognizes the bloodline, and this is the continuation of that bloodline, and if you were to violate that, I'm sure there would be grave consequences for you." It's not your choice who rules and who doesn't. There are laws that determine that, and she is legally entitled to sit on the throne, whether you like it or not.
She's gonna say, yes, if that claim can be validated.
Yeah, and it can be, but if you choose not to, you're going to violate everything the society that you have worked your entire life to uphold stands for.
Doesn't show good ethics to lie when the truth is staring you in the face.
And we won't take that very easily or happily.
Remember, we are smugglers and killers.
And she's going to say, and if you kill me, your last claim to the seat.
You have zero help from me right now. If you die, we lose nothing. We have no leverage.
As you guys are threatening her, Ariana is going to step forward and say, "The hardest part about standing here today is knowing everyone sacrificed everything, and they gave their lives fighting assassins and abominations while I drank wine in the countryside. I will not be a spectator while my country is torn to shreds, and I will not be cast aside like some impetuous child while you guys fight. You will either support my claim and unite this country, or I'll raise an army and I'll piece it back together after I've conquered it."
I like that idea more.
I'm kind of with the second idea.
Celebris just kind of folds his arms and throws a giant shit-eating grin on his face.
I like this lady.
You're saying that she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, as she says that, the councilman's gonna look a little surprised and say, "It seems I was mistaken. You most certainly are your father's daughter." There is a cold silence drifting throughout the room right now.
Celebris is gonna look at her, so can we assume that you've changed your mind on the matter?
Like it or not, Respis Bertolf was the last time we truly saw peace. And what stands before you is his blood daughter. If his union with Sela is the only thing keeping us from going crazy, it might be the only thing that keeps it from happening.
She takes one final drink from her water and says, "Fine. Trade one Bertolf for another. Come." She begins walking through the party.
Celebris will follow.
gonna stay with Lady Kenfield.
Let's say I'm not making sure that somebody on her flank.
Oh,
That's not. I think she was leading Lady Bertolf out. Probably to the council meeting right now.
yeah. Ariana seems like pretty much stunned at this.
Okay, so quick question, if I can do this.
Yes.
While this is all going on, like in the background, I'm going to use my primeval awareness here. For a minute, I'm going to see if there's any fiends throughout the crowd of the council.
Okay, you guys are in Ariana's, or rather you're in a office right now. You can't...
Well, I mean, it extends for 5 miles.
Oh, okay, let's see. Ideas, you can read whether it is affected by magic or any short.
It goes off of my favorite enemies, which are humanoids and fiends. I'm going to choose it to be fiends.
Okay, roll me a concentration check, because this is not an easy situation you're in that you can simply just concentrate on that.
Woo! Nope.
Oh no.
Good thing it doesn't cost anything to do that.
Yeah, you can do this again down in the council chambers, but you're in a pretty intimate setting with a person that you guys don't trust, that doesn't like you. You know, it's not just like something that you can simply like pacify your mind to your senses to.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it when we're in the. I'll redo it again when we're in the council room.
The councilwoman leads you guys down the hallway, and as she does, she's going to say to Ariana, you know, the throne really changed your father. And she's going to say, well, let's hope it changes me for the better. With that, she leads you guys to the amphitheater area of this, and you can see there are a group of counselors on the floor debating with each other. As they're going to notice Councilwoman Kiev has returned, and one of them is going to stand up and say, I would like to yield the rest of my time to the Ethics Council. He stands up, wiping sweat off of his forehead, and walks to his seat. In the area that you guys are seated at, you can see that not all of the counselors have returned for this vote, and that there are various seats unoccupied here, and the person leading the one remaining person on the floor is going to stand up and say, as the security branch of our government, it's our job for all of our councils to come together and simply ensure the security of this nation continues. This is not a debate. I move that we make Warden Sundale the current temporary magnate until the High Council's chosen. It should not have taken an entire day of, as he's saying this, Kiev is going to gesture for you guys to sit near the Ethics Council, and she's going to stand up and start walking towards the floor.
My primeval awareness goes again as we sit down.
Okay. Typhus is also near you guys. Those of you that have met him, see him and his red hairs sitting not too far in front of you guys.
Does Typhus hate us?
Yes, Typhus is the one that hates us.
Typhus, yeah, really disliked the prince. And was not a big fan of Lance. He was alright with you guys.
We had a cordial conversation with him. Yeah. Lance was an ass.
Anybody with a 16 perception is also going to notice Anadelia across the chambers.
No,
I think that's me.
That's not me.
Yes!
I'm not wasting my channel divinity on this.
I need to up my wisdom.
Anybody else can make a perception check to, just inspect all of the people here.
I'm doing that with primeval awareness, but I'll do a perception as well. Why not?
It went well.
It went really well.
Go team.
Go team, go.
Am I really the only one that's going on right now?
I'm way too focused on Ariana.
I'm too focused on making sure there's no fiends around. Okay.
Man, baby.
Barney, something.
Yeah, Barty is definitely going to see some people that he talked to at the Nakart ball here. One of which is Councilwoman Anadelia Surreal. For Lance's primeval awareness, it is going to be a sensory overload, but not in your immediate area. You don't detect any fiends here. But there are lots of them inside within a 5-mile area. And to keep in mind, the city itself is about 8 miles in diameter. And you guys are about at its heart. There is also a population of upwards of 100,000 people living in this city. I forgot what I said the population was for Ardor. But I think it might be touching
around?
Yes, yes.
Or is it like, it's all around me? Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Why are there so many fucking fiends in this city?
Well, I think there's nearly 1 million people living here. Let me look at the Ardor. The one thing I don't keep near me at all times for my notes is my civilization thing where I tallied up like the civilization of every place. But this is a very densely populated square as far as the hexagons go. But yeah, you'd be looking at an upwards of like 500,000 people in this city. You're going to detect more fiends than you can count.
So, what's the number though? Is it just all of it in it's just everywhere within the 5 miles, or is is it closer than the 5 miles?
It is scattered out everywhere within the 5 miles. I am not going to go and count, each one.
Okay, I thought you just had like a number, like you just knew it off the top of your head.
No.
Okay.
There are fiends in the capital, and you can assume they're probably just living their regular lives.
To be fair, meat is half fiend.
Yeah.
Oh. That's where I was like, let me guess, tieflings count. All of this natural tiefling population is just like...
aren't shapeshifters fiends?
Well, I was going off just, what counts as a fiend as far as type goes. Tieflings technically count as humanoids. Anyways, Councilwoman Keeve is going to take the floor as this man is debating, and she is going to say, all friends, countrymen, councilwomen, and councilmen. I have raised many questions about our duty to our country and to our Serai around us today. Tonight, I have returned with that answer. Earlier today, I was approached by a group claiming that the last magnate had one single living relative remaining. She stands before us today. She gestures towards Ariana and says, "This is Ariana Bertolf, daughter of our last magnate." With that, I move that we suspend the vote, as she would hold the throne until the next magnate is chosen. There's a moment of silence before everybody erupts into chaos and everybody tries speaking over one another.
Silverus is just sitting there laughing to himself. Yeah, this is about as good as expected.
As everybody is trying to speak over each other, the members on the floor are going to hold up their hands, quieting the crowd, and say, as the 5 councils on security, or as the head of the 5 councils on security, we and Kiev points towards one counselor, and is going to say, let's see, who is this? Oh, Kaisel. Just gonna point to one counselor and says, the floor acknowledges Councilman Kaisel. Kaisel stands up. He is a very short man, and he's going to say, how do you know this is his daughter and not some charlatan? The last I remember, all of the magnate's children were dead. Kiev is going to speak up and say, my disdain for the magnate is no secret. As much as it pains me to say, I can confirm this is his daughter. It seems that Respis pulled some type of parlor trick over our eyes and removed her from the capital before he took the throne.
As they're talking, I want to kind of just scan the room and see if anybody looks kind of suspicious or like they have ill intentions, you know.
All right. There are 5 councils here that make up this place. So far, you guys know that that make up the security council. The security branch. So far, you guys know Anna Delia's here. She is on the security council. The ethics council is here. That is the person you were talking to, and they just acknowledged somebody from the military council. There are 2 groups that you guys don't know here, but is there anybody specific you want to pay attention to, or
people looking angry, or maybe people are leaving the room quickly?
Okay, roll me an insight
like
check.
that. Not bad.
24. You can see there is some serious disdain in this room, particularly the person sitting closest to the floor in the center of the room.
Did you know what they look like so I can describe them later too?
Yes. There are 5 people in this group, and another person who is fully dressed in ornate armor sitting in front of them. He is a very, just from what you can tell, he is well-groomed, very attractive. You can see he kind of has some scars on the side of his face that's facing you, denoting probably some either military service or some type of soldier. He where he was kind of sitting with a position of authority when you guys first came in, you can see now he is like leaned forward. His whole expression has kind of narrowed into like complete disdain as he is like scowling at what's happening on the floor in front of him.
And where are we? Is she like in the middle of the room, or are we by the door still?
You guys are sitting inside. You guys are sitting in the Ethics Council part of these chambers. You're not in Somia, but there's kind of like a little arena area.
Oh, in the room itself.
Yeah, and that's what I'm drawing out for you.
Okay, gotcha. So they're like amphitheaters kind of surrounding a central floor.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to be scanning the room, see if anybody's approaching also as we're sitting here.
You guys are here. This figure is in the center right there. And you guys have noticed Anadelia on the far side of the room, or some of you have.
Is there any way to our seats other than the door, or can you come up from like the floor?
Say that one more time. I didn't catch the first part.
Is there any way to where we're sitting besides the door we came in, or could they just like walk across the floor and come to us? Are we like elevated off the floor, or is there like a path?
Yeah, this anybody can walk towards you guys. This place is just slanted down towards the center arena.
Alright, I'll just be scanning the room, see if anybody's making their way over, looking suspicious.
Okay. It seems that like the entire council is in session now, so not many people are walking. The only thing like you're noticing as you're looking at people is occasionally a scribe will come and whisper to a counselor, and then like walk off with a note or something. That said, she said, yes, it seems, Respis, pulled, some type of parlor trick on us. A person from, that man's group is going to, stand up and, not Councilwoman Kiev, but the next person that she was talking to is he's going to say the floor of the security branch acknowledges Counselor Kef from from Storm's Nest Council. Kef stands up. Our councilman Kef stands up and says, and how can we be certain that she's not some type of charlatan come here? Just to simply try and stake a claim through default, or rather through the technicalities of the law. Is there any real way to prove that she's the magnate's daughter? Councilwoman Kiev is going to stand up and say, or is still standing, is going to acknowledge the claim and say, once again, I have confirmed it. The counselor is going to point his hand forward and angrily accuse and say, and you were the one who called for this delay in the first place. How can we be sure that this is not some trick of power from you, Councilwoman Kiev? The person who acknowledged him is going to say, the floor no longer acknowledges Storm's Nest Council. He sits down. Councilwoman Kiev is gonna say, you're gonna see her look to the side at the party, and then back to everybody, or back to the floor, and say, you can't. Once again, outroar, cries, and the room breaks into a ruckus again. This settles down after probably about 40 seconds of yelling. There are 8 council people standing. The next person is going to say the security branch acknowledges Councilwoman Surreal. Anadelia stands up and states, I've heard rumors before that Respis had one child still remaining. For those rumors to come true, I believe it not only coincidental, but fortunate for us. Why was it not only a month ago that the path of peace flew in our skies?
You go, Anadilla.
That's my girl.
As she says that, Anadelia is going to say, I move we not elect the next magnate on terms of succession as dictated by blood, but rather in the ways of old, as dictated by stars.
She's no longer my girl.
She's still mine.
Yes, or weird.
Everybody in the room is going to go silent. Councilwoman Kiev is going to look a little shocked at this, and everybody on, or rather the ones who are forming the heads of this branch, are going to start talking to one another.
So what does by the stars mean? Will I know what that means?
You guys can whisper it amongst yourselves. Ariana.
Well, this is bad, guys.
Is it bad?
Ariana is going to say it's where fate and fortune align.
How is that determined?
She scratches her head and says, coincidence in the chantries. And she's gonna say the guiding star, Maphis, flew in the sky, last month.
So is this going to help your cause or hurt it?
She shakes her head and says, no, if they name a magnate and the star reappears, that person is the new magnate. She says it could help or hurt.
Yeah, I think the sure thing's better to go with.
Want a Maphis star? I gotta go break him in a jail.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're
we're
Yeah,
gonna
go
rely on a star that could possibly just never reappear again.
Does all the council need to agree to do it that way, or how does that take effect?
She's going.
As you guys are having this discussion, the counselors are going to are all going to turn back and address the floor and say, we have decided on a compromise to please all 5 councils. We will name this Bertolf magnate for the day. If the star Maphis chooses her to be so, then it shall remain. If not, by the laws of our land, Oris Sundale will serve as magnate in the morning.
Well, time to get to praying.
So we're gonna. I'm saying this like to the group, like not out loud to everybody. So we're gonna really rely on a star that might not appear to decide who the hell runs a country.
I'm gonna call out like to the entire chamber that people will riot if you change our system. See if anybody will kind of.
Oh, I'm sorry. The star they would have been talking about was Alilius, not Mathis.
Lilia?
Alilius was the guiding star that appeared last month.
Wait, so Brandon, does everybody have to agree to change, or how does that take effect? How do they switch? What's the protocol?
Well, they voted.
Yeah, so this council is in charge of putting forward, or rather, the collection of these councils are in charge of, handling the various other branches of government as far as leadership goes of the army and just the general security of the nation. This council is the one that has to decide on the temporary leadership until the High Councils form. They need agreement here. There's about a dozen and a half other councils that are in different buildings. There are 4 branches of Artaserai's government. I'm sorry.
So using the stars and fate, is that just for the temporary, or is that permanent?
Hold on 1 second. Hey, JJ, I'm getting a lot of background noise from you, so I'm going to mute you for a second. Can you say that one more time, Derek?
Yeah. Chill. What did I just ask? I just forgot.
Something about will the stars blink?
Oh yeah. Is that just a temporary appointment, or is that for the permanent position of magnate?
Oh. From what Ariana just told you guys and what you heard on the floor, it sounds permanent.
And did they vote to make that? Did the vote already happen?
No, they have not voted on it yet.
Okay.
Everybody's currently discussing it.
Alright, well, I'm not sure what to do, but as we're sitting there and everybody's talking, I want to point out, one by one to everybody in the party, the suspicious, angry military guy. Just be like, hey, see that guy over there in the armor?
Would I recognize that person?
Oh, yeah, you recognize him as Oris Sundale.
That's what I thought.
Did he get picked as a fiend there at all?
No, he is not a fiend.
Damn it!
No, he's a fiend. He's just humanoid.
Oh yeah. He's not a very good person. But,
did I pick anybody out of this council room at all as fiend?
No, you didn't.
What was his name?
Damn it!
That's the warden of the jail.
That's Oris Sundale, warden of Storm's Nest. A real asshole. And if he becomes magnate, I probably need to flee the country.
Yeah, I'll just point that out.
I think all of you need to if he becomes magnate. That's why I don't want him to be magnate.
No, just really me and Anderson, because we're
all of you in jail at one point and then fled.
Just us and Makana.
Then you might need to drag Makana with you.
You try dragging Makana anywhere, and she'll be dragging you out in a body bag.
I mean, if you convince her.
Alright. So as you guys are talking, Typhus is going to turn around and start talking to the party, specifically to Ariana, and say, he's going to say, this plan has got my vote. Ariana is going to exhale and say, I don't like risking my role on a flip of the coin. Typhus is going to say, you just have to call it right.
Oh.
I feel like I need to take this moment to pray. Out of character, so in character, but out of character, pray to Gale Song. Because this feels more like his neck of the woods.
Ariana,
We don't do it this way. They wouldn't acknowledge you anyway. At least if this goes well.
I still like the second idea you put up, was conquer the entire country.
Yeah, that's my first choice right now.
I mean, don't become an enemy of the state, Boris becomes magnet.
Well,
Both are
we
fine.
can always table that option for round 2 if this doesn't work well.
As you guys are talking, Anadelia has been making her way towards you.
Oh, crap.
Mom's mad at us.
She
I didn't do it.
she's going to join the group and say, I didn't know you guys would be staking a claim so soon. We didn't even have time to recruit enough allies to our side.
Yeah, well, the mountain wardens are on their way here, so we needed to move as quickly as possible.
And as you say that, Ariana is going to step forward and say, and choosing by the stars, you're supposed to be on my side.
Yeah, what is that about?
Anadelia is going to seem very calm and say, look, there was no way they were going to confirm you, especially after Kiev gave away her credibility on the council floor.
Don't worry, Anadelia wouldn't have suggested something like this if she doesn't have backup plan.
I guess we'll see.
She is going to shake her head and say, no, but it is something we can manipulate. As long as we work quickly tonight, there's enough apothecaries in town. We collect as much phosphorus as we can. If we can get a way to launch it in the sky and burn it over the city, we might be able to fool it.
Ooh, I like this plan.
Election fraud, what could go wrong with that?
Hey Lance, how high up can you go with your poof trick?
I can go about 60 feet.
And how high can your bird fly?
My bird can fly as high as it damn well pleases. It's a bird.
We might have an answer there then.
It's a bird. It can fly as much as it feels.
Well, I didn't know if it needed to keep in sight of you, otherwise something happens.
So,
Do you have any way to make stuff fly?
as
Do I?
so Ariana
Party.
stepped away from Typhus to join your guys' conversation with Lady Anadelia. After she stepped away, you guys see Typhus stepping into your group. Anadelia is going to very subtly lean behind one of you guys, placing a finger over her mouth as Typhus joins the group. She bows and says, High Councilman Seasons. He says, Lady Surreal, always the shakeup, every single time. I can never expect what you're going to bring to the council floor. She says, oh, I'm nothing if not predictable. He says, I'll never forget your vote to abstain for General Kalir. It was very noble of you. She nods and says, I'm only led as the four have guided me. He looks to the party and says, well, the best of luck with your claim. I'm going to confer with Kiev. He steps away from the party into the center of the council floor.
Alright guys, I think tonight's stealth mission.
Yay! I have just the stuff to do this.
I think we should escort Lady Anadelia and lead Bertolf back to the manor and then gather everything we're gonna need.
About this.
She is, Anadelia is going to say, well, it's not over yet. If the council accepts the idea, she has to claim a star. Ariana is gonna look at the party and say, "Well, I'm choosing Maphis. It's the path of peace. It's what I want to bring to our country." Anadelia shakes her head and says, "No, you have to choose. You have to choose Sarisung. It burns green. Phosphorus burns green. That's what we're going to be able to manage for you."
Phosphorus burn white.
Does it?
To the Google.
Yeah, let's see.
I thought phosphorus burnt hot white.
What color does phosphorus burn? That's the stuff that comes out of pee, right?
Normally, no.
It shouldn't.
If you're pissing phosphorus, we might need to
No.
go to a doctor or area 51.
The burning sensation.
I very clearly remember a person discovering an element by distilling pee, and it was green, and it started with a P. I forgot.
It's not phosphorus.
This is your world, Brandon.
Yeah.
If phosphorus burns green, then phosphorus burns green.
Let's see. How one man's love of urine led to the discovery of phosphorus.
Also, according to Google, it burns a pale bluish green.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Flame test. Wikipedia.
It might be potassium I'm thinking of.
Well, there is white phosphorus, but that has 10
might
things
be
of
what it is.
oxygen inside of it. Yeah, but
There's something I know that burns like white or something.
history lesson for you guys. We discovered what phosphorus was because like some guy just left buckets of pee near a fireplace.
What to do?
Anyways,
That's its own air freshener.
Mostly how far my
Ugh.
life.
If that's what you find good for an air freshener,
Back in
I'm
the day,
staying out of your
like that.
house.
That would be awful.
Just buckets of burning pee. Ugh.
The smell of phosphorus.
alrighty.
In the morning.
With that though, you're gonna see Ariana kind of like defeatedly nod and say, "All right, Sari-san.
It'll be fine. You can change your view later.
Oh, as she says so, Anadelia is going to point at the party and say, "How about no more surprises until the end of the night?"
Boo! There's your last surprise of the night.
Life is surprises, and then you die.
She smiles, chuckling to herself, and walking back towards her council.
Oh, we probably should have told her we're trying to get you on council.
It might have helped.
She said no more surprises for the night. We'll wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, let's wait till tomorrow. First thing in the morning. No, not even. We'll wait till like the time just hits tomorrow, and then we'll tell her.
Especially considering it's going to be in the chantry that, doesn't want her.
Yeah.
It seems
okay.
Various councils are coming to a decision. There are 5 people standing around the room that are not on the center floor. The floor, Typhus comes back and stands in front of the Ethics Council, pointing to Anadelia at the front of the room. The man that was arguing with Kiev says the floor acknowledges Councilwoman Surreal from the Security Council. Anadelia says the Security Council will accept the rule if the stars see fit, or will accept the new magnate's rule if the stars see fit. She sits down. Kiev points to Kaisel and says the floor acknowledges Councilman Kaisel from the Military Council. Councilman Kaisel stands up saying the same thing. the military council will accept the new magnate's rule if the stars see it fit. He sits back down. They point to
Celebris looks over at Anderson as this is going on. 5 gold says that Storm's Nest disagree with this.
So are you saying that they will agree, or
No, they're going to disagree.
no? They know it's a fluky chance, so they'll take it. No, or they'll take the opportunity to make sure that he can actually be magnate.
You want to take the bet then?
5 gold.
5 gold.
Sitting down and acknowledging the next person is actually the Storm's Nest Council. The counselor stands up and says, the Storm's Nest Council will accept the new magnate's rule if the stars see it fit.
Father will hold out his hand.
And we'll sit back down.
Celebris will drop it, and
this goes on with the last 2 councils. Before finally, Keeve takes order on the floor and says, and she points to Ariana and says, the Security Council sees fit for you to become the next magnate of this country, if the guiding stars see it so. What star will lead your rule, or will guide your rule? Ariana stands up, looks to the party, then to Anadelia, and says, Maphis, the path to peace.
oh, son of a bitch! I knew she was gonna do it. I knew it.
Well,
I knew
our
it.
stealth mission's now another prison break, baby.
She sits back down and says, it's my gamble to make. Exhales, and Keeve calls the other 4 members on the floor together before they come back, and the man that she's arguing with steps forward and says, with that, the security branch of the councils is dismissed. Our business tonight is adjourned. Should the guiding stars see it so, Ariana Bertolf will be the next celestial magnate, the Maphis magnate. All right. People start talking amongst themselves as counselors disperse.
Celebris is gonna look over at Anderson. No, now Mom is mad.
Yeah, you can see there is a look of fury on Anadelia's face, as it's a quiet fury. It's intensity.
No.
As she kind of hasn't moved for as everybody's standing up and moving around her.
Where does that star get its name from?
The Maphis. It is a thing. Things get its name from it.
Oh, okay.
The clown.
Well, because the university is named Maphis University, and Galesong's original last name is Matthew.
Yeah,
It's gotta be close.
Yeah, the guiding stars, the oldest one. History check. There we go. How about that?
Yeah. Wow. Cool. I'll fail this. I'll fail this hard.
And not too bad.
11. Yeah, the guiding stars, as far as you know, as far as you can think back, they predate most of the things you can remember. They're older than 1,000 years old, which of course means they're older than the Ascended. They're older than, when was the university established? Oh, that's 700 years old, so, it's older than the university. Yeah, so most things that you would know, these things are older than. As you guys are rather getting ready to leave, you're going to see Anadelia. You're going to see Anadelia stand up and walk towards her chambers. She does not come and talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Uh-oh.
She's gonna stop in the doorway, turn around, and start moving towards the party.
God.
I think it was worse and better when she didn't talk.
You
Now
know,
Anderson, I think this is the time where we need to might protect Ariana.
Ooh, a fight? No, wait, let me say that better. Let me say that incorrectly because I'm still pretty dry. Right, huh? Protecting? What?
what's wrong with you?
A lot of things around here. Too many count.
She's going to stand in front of the party for a moment, and this is a weird form of intimidation too, because she has no bodyguard with her here, no steward, no honor guard. It is just Anadelia, and she probably comes up to maybe one of your guys' nipples.
Yeah, and she's gonna wreck it.
And just standing easily 2 heads shorter than all of you guys, she's gonna look at Ariana, which might be the closest person to her height, and say, "You're stubborn." Ariana is going to look
She's
down.
a Bertolf.
And she nods and says, "I am a Bertolf. That's a trait of ours."
Hey, you're a normal person.
Lady Anadelia, maybe this was the right decision to do it her way. Because let's face it, if it's true what she picked right and her reign is justified this way, there'll be no contention, and it'll be as if the Ascended them picking her.
She is going to just rub her face and say, "Do you know how often a guiding star appears in the night sky?"
Every day.
She shakes her head and says, "Maybe once every 100 years."
How many years has it been since the last one?
A month.
A month.
You got good chances.
This is true, but... well, maybe a miracle will happen.
She nods and says, "You're gonna need a miracle."
I know, because if he becomes a magnate, I'm probably going back to jail.
Ow! Bust you out.
I think I need to go pray.
I'm at least...
Either for that miracle or to resign myself that I will be meeting my maker.
Speaking of praying and stuff like that, you're a knowledgeable person. When I poof, I don't just kind of poof. I kind of I go somewhere else, but stay in the same place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you
No.
go across planes?
Yes. Something like that.
I mean, do you know what it looks like?
What does it look like, Brandon? I haven't actually asked this question ever. I just kind of always done it.
What Lance sees, there is always an ocean behind him and just an endless scorched field in front of him.
It kind of looks like the dark dimension from Digimon. Or the Black Ocean.
It's kind of like I kind of
It's not much of anything you can take in your surroundings. If you turn or walk, it doesn't really feel like you move.
it's like I go poof. I can feel don't feel like I'm moving, but I know I'm moving. I have to kind of remember my surroundings. Then when I reappear like that, I'm in the place I thought I'd be.
But, so you see or feel a vast, endless ocean behind you.
Yes.
You cross into the bridge.
So, this might. Okay.
As you say that, Anadelia is going to look towards Lance and say the gatekeeper does not take kindly to intrusions.
Well, I intrude a lot.
And she's going to look at the rest of the party and say, maybe if we're not lucky, we won't be intruders for much longer.
No, I want to be an intruder for longer. I know what that means.
Perhaps Haldora favors you, Lance, if you've been allowed what appears to be a smidgen of her power.
I guess that's where I pulled from when we were fighting those people before I started laughing like this. Yeah.
Regardless,
I'll have to look into this.
When we have time, we can discuss it.
That'd be lovely.
yeah, here's not the place or the time.
Yeah, these people might not like
Lance
it.
on the shoulder.
I think we've made enough enemies just throwing the monkey wrench we did into this whole thing.
Let's throw another.
I would prefer it if you didn't
What's a monkey
incite
wrench?
my goddess to action.
Yeah, I think we promised no more surprises. Kind
And
of
inviting
broke
the
him at
goddess
once.
of death upon us isn't exactly something I want to deal with.
Oh, okay.
As you guys are talking, Anadelia is going to exhale and say, "There's still matters we have to take care of. Perhaps I can devise a plan and get it sent to the Kalkin office by the morning time."
It's already morning time, is it not?
No, it's the start of the night.
Really?
Yeah, you guys got here at nightfall.
It
Hey,
feels
Marty.
so much later. I'm
Hey,
tired.
Marty,
Yeah.
you're good with magic. Maybe you can help come up with something. I don't know how you are with illusionary magic, but
Let's see.
I can create a minor illusion, but that's about it.
Anadelia's gonna interrupt you guys and say, also, you sent by a Ililnagai Arcanist to the keep.
Did we?
Yeah.
yeah.
When did we do that?
I've got Fireball.
Fireball solves
look, it's
all
a star.
problems.
Look, that star just crashed into that person's house. Look.
Oh
the
dear
people-
God! It's raining on us. It's 10 days. It's the end of the world.
Someone cast meteorite.
Wish.
That guiding star is getting closer. Oh, whoa!
Hey, look, a shooting star. Wish on it. I wish we'd all die. Hey, that star's looking kind of close.
Combine Fireball with Prestidigitation, and it'll be fine.
Let's make it work.
As Barty's like still flipping through his spell book, though, Anadelia is going to continue and say, "You have to. We have to be careful who we communicate with. If we're trying to make a play for the throne, we can't be talking to enemies or protecting them."
Okay, bye. Walk away now.
Reyna's not a threat.
She's a
child.
Anadelia nods and says, "Yes, that I am aware of, which is why I've confined her to one of the more private chambers of the keep."
I understand that the optics aren't ideal, even if she's the weaker half of her pairing.
Is she though? I mean, she seems pretty strong.
I truly believe that her charge is the stronger of the two, and he's in Storm's Nest.
Well, let's bust him out.
I wanted to go talk to him, but
Lance,
Oris is on the warpath and doesn't care for my pardoning.
Yeah, you said you were gonna.
She looks to Ariana and says, "Your Majesty, your magnate for a night." She looks at the party and says, "No, I'm not going to start my rule off just like my brother by pardoning a criminal."
Hey!
Say that again?
I don't want you to pardon him. I just want to talk to him.
By pardoning him.
No?
She's Anadelia's going to nod and say it would be wise to collect information on their forces from him if he's willing to talk. By all accounts that I've read, though, he's not somebody who cracks easily.
He was interviewed by the Chantry of Concordance. Do you know what they got out of him, if anything?
She shakes her head and says, "No, he..." and she pauses and said, "No, he helped a girl escape with her belongings, before he was captured." That's the girl?
Man after your own heart there.
Presumably.
She nods and says, "You guys, use, Ariana's position now to go to Storm's Nest for the night. I'll go, speak with this Arcanist. Perhaps we can salvage at least a little bit, from, this evening's events."
Good, because I could use something to drink and maybe something to sleep on. I feel crappy.
Lance, if you're not with us fully right now, maybe you should just head back to the keep and rest.
No, I'm here, I'm fine. We need to protect... Oh, girl, I'm here till we get back.
Alright, then count this as a temporary fix, and Solorus will just straight up slap him in the face.
Bam! Okay, yeah, I'm good now. Thank you. Remind me never to look for fiends in this fucking town again. Remind me. I'm never doing that shit again. There's a lot.
Anadelia has given you guys a course you can pursue. She's going to bow to each of the members that reach nobility in the party, and then to Ariana, saying, "Your Majesty." The whole time, her expression not changing, and then turn and leave the group.
So, like, she was, like, civil as fuck, but making sure that we understood
she's super
that she would
pissed.
send us to the bridge each individually.
Yeah, what you guys got from it, she's not pleased how things transpired, but trying to make the best of it.
Well, Anderson,
Want to go back to prison?
I was just about to say that. Maybe you guys should stay with the magnate's keep. Because A, prison is not a place for her, royalty, or for magnate purposes, and, well, being a lord or lady. And B, I still don't trust what's going on in this country right now. I'd rather her have some extra guards that I know I personally trust.
Yeah,
And kind of giving a half grin over at Lance.
As you're looking around, there have been people escorting. There have been guards escorting the counselors to their various quarters and stuff here. There is a large group of guards forming near the front of the door. A man in armor is rallying each of them.
Is it Oris?
No, it is not. It is. You're only seeing the back of his head from in between people. You guys are on the other side of this. You guys are on the other side of the chamber. The way this place is structured. Oh my God, where's my mouse? Here we go. We'll draw in purple. There's the amphitheater area, the entrance to it, and then one wing, and then the other wing, and these wings are each individual council person's offices on the different floors. You guys are up here at the area. You see this group of guards forming by the entrance.
So what do you say? Me and Anderson will head to prison, and you guys stay with Ariana?
I can ask what is Bertolt like to do?
Ariana is going to look at you guys and say, "Oh, I'm coming to Storm's Nest. I have to give the order for you to get in, I believe."
I mean,
Well, I didn't know if you could give it to Orcus since or now while he's here.
That would be a good idea.
And be more fun to watch him get more pissed off at this whole thing this way.
it really would.
Yeah, she's going to bow halfway through her bow and say, "Oh, and she's gonna
Celebrus bows to her and said, "This is now on the lady."
She nods and walks towards the warden's council.
It's gonna be weird going back to that place on the opposite.
Hey, this time you'll be outside the bars.
Going back on the.
You don't want to come with me, Anderson?
No, I'm just saying that I don't trust Oris. As far as I could throw him. Mind you, I'd love to find out the exact measure.
Well, how about we measure that by going on top of Storm's Nest and you throwing him there?
Yeah, fine by me.
We'll get a distance.
I don't trust him either, but I will say one thing. The man's got honor, and he wouldn't break a direct order from the Magnate.
That could be debatable if he gets angry.
No, because think of it this way. The Magnate, or Marcus, when he tried to arrest Anderson the first, or last time,
Yeah.
he respected Marcus's word, even though he straight up told Marcus that he doesn't respect him.
That's good.
So, hope.
The only reason I'm saying me and you go there, everyone goes, because I don't want to leave her unguarded. I want to keep as much guard on her as possible. But...
No, I understand.
And since me and you are actually prisoners there, we know the layout pretty well.
even if it all goes to hell, it's not like we haven't done it before.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys head out?
We're waiting for.
I don't want to leave until Ariana comes back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is anybody watching her?
Oh yeah, I'm watching her the whole time that she's talking.
Okay. It seems that her discussion with Oris has turned into more of a debate. Several people have gathered around her as their words are growing in volume.
Oh hell no! Silver's getting down into that as soon as more people start crowding.
All right. Of course, Tarum is directly at her side. So Celebris just heads closer to the council floor.
As soon as I see people start crowding her, I start making my way towards the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm heading there too.
Same.
So would I.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys are going to hear the tail end of a conversation. You walk in at Ariana saying, "I'm not asking you for entry. I'm commanding you as your magnate." And he says, "And right now we're at war. I have the right to refuse that." And she's going to say, as magnate for the evening, I am overriding your authority for martial law. I control the royal army right now, and I'm commanding that you let them in to see the prisoner. That is the final word that I'm saying to you." He steps forward saying, "Look, girl," moving a hand to grab her, and that's the only word he gets out before Tarum unsheaths his sword. There is a very quick moment of it, and what everybody feels in the area is kind of like a wave of mist, like just moving out from this area. Oris's arm is on the floor as he's looking down at it.
Well, this is not good. Seeing this Celebris is winning.
If I hold a
I will roll an athletics check, but he is jumping over chairs to get into this before it gets bad.
If I hold a newly detached limb to the wound, can Cure Wounds reattach it?
Lesser restoration can.
God, I need to just put that in my thing.
What about mending? If I put it, if I mended it back.
You can mend the armor and it'll stay in place for a while.
His arm's way bigger than an inch.
People are going to, the crowd is going to step back, like from this, in horror, little, and Ariana is going to look at him and say, "Warden, are there any more of my orders you'll be refusing?" People are going to flock to his side, trying to help him bandage the wound. He's going to spit, cursing, and just like very angrily, just with all the vitriol in his mouth, and say, "Enjoy your one night in the light."
I assume that I've gotten close enough to be snarky.
Yeah. Right now he's applying first aid to his wound.
Is that like a 30-foot range to be snarky, or?
Celebris driving just looks at him and he can't resist it. Wow, Orcus, need a hand?
A good cleric can reattach that if you hurry.
I will walk up to I forget the guy's name already. I'm an asshole.
Which one? The one that got his hair chopped?
No, the dude that did the chopping.
Tyrael.
Or Tarum.
I'll walk up to Tarum, pat him off.
As you guys like step up to him, he still has his sword out. Everybody can see his sword is not made of metal. It appears to be one entire like blade made of ice, and it is barely, by any measure, it's barely even a long sword. As far as description's sake, it would seem more like a katana. As you step up to him,
D100 damage.
yeah, as you step up to him, he's going to point it at you, like kind of reflexively, before seeing who you guys are, and he nods his head very slightly and says, "Sorry, my lords." He shows it.
Please, you.
I'll pat him on the shoulder, be like, "Good stroke. How about we escort her out before things get more ugly in here? We got our we got what she was wanting, so we can skedaddle."
Oris, who at this point, has his arm bandaged by several counselors who are like willing to help him, and guards coming in over here, is going to look back and say, give the word. The Magnate's Knights get in for the night. The second midnight rolls around, every soldier in Storm's Nest is under my command. One of the counselors nods and stands up and leaves. He eyeballs each of the party members before walking away with his counsel. Tarum leads Ariana away, who kind of seems to be just looking at the scene with a... it's kind of hard to describe like what's on her face now.
Does she look like bothered at all by it?
Not really bothered. Kind of like, imagine a child who just shot somebody who didn't realize that, what their actions meant, Like, she's kind of just absorbing all of this, like, she's just looking at it with, and then with a curiosity that is, like, bordering, like, sadness.
She's on the verge of shock.
Yeah.
Damn, I thought she was a cold-blooded killer.
I mean, she's not, like, shaken to the core about this, but you can see, like, obviously you see her gaze, like, constantly going back to, the blood where the arm was.
I want that sword.
Yeah. So Briss will go up to her. These are things
she's walking next to you guys being let out.
Yeah. Cerberus will walk next to her and go, "These are things that you're going to have to get used to doing."
She nods and says, "Yes, I just didn't expect to do so soon."
If I may say so, I think you handled extremely well there. And you, my friend, A, very clean and very nice cut. B, where can I get one of those?
He is going to he's gonna laugh and say, these are two of a kind. One sister and one brother.
Well, maybe they go have kids. Maybe they go have kids. How about that?
Lance, rethink what you just said and come back to it afterwards, please.
What, a sister can't go have a kid? I'm not saying with each other, you sicko. God.
Ariana, finally shaking from her shock, she's gonna say, Oro and Tarum have always been, they've always had their lips sealed about the swordsmen who trained them. Tarum is going to nod and say, Quinradi's not a man who likes to be talked about.
Quinradi?
Any chance I can do a history
Wait a
check
minute.
on any chance of knowing that name?
I know
You
that
can.
name.
And she says, yes, the famous desert sword. That's all we ever hear.
Nope.
Or all I've ever heard.
Roman needs to track that guy down and kill him.
I knew it. I knew it.
He has the sword I want.
Anyways, thank you for your help in the matter, lady, but I think me and Anderson need to go, because he's probably going to lock us up before the second after midnight.
Alright,
So, Anderson, I think it's time we sprint.
Sure.
Run, old man, run!
as you guys are leaving, you are going to walk by the group of guards that have formed at the door. The guards are going to step forward, not to Father A and Celebris, but to the party and Ariana. It is Shosinus and some other guards that you have seen just around these council chambers. Shosinus steps forward, saying, Magnate Bertholf, your security is in my charge until you're either confirmed and Zenith Rise. The Zenith Rise detail takes over your honor guard, or the night ends. He gestures to his guards and say, wherever you're staying at in the city, we can ensure that you'll have a safe night's rest. Ariana is going to look over all of them and then say, very well. I'm staying in Sumia Villa, or Sumia, while I'm in town at the Nakart's Keep. Shosinus nods and says, alright, those of you with horses, mount up. We're following her to Sumia. The other members of the party, Father A and Celebris, are going to get outside for the night. As they run outside in a sprint to get to Storm's Nest, there are going to be counselors who left early with their guard detail on the stairs of the council steps. Everyone outside is looking up and pointing to the sky. The sky itself is bathed in purple light.
Oh, what the hell does that mean?
Is it time for a history check?
You guys can look up, but you see a burning ball of light, about 4 times the size of the moon, directly overhead, over you.
I didn't do it.
What the hell is that?
Yet again. Do I need to make a history check?
You can, or you can assume that this is a guiding star.
That'd be my
I
guess.
guess, would I be able to
Trying to figure out which one.
Oh, yeah, that would be a history check.
Much better than my
DC
life.
10. There you go. I mean, it is pretty elementary to you guys, as far as those raised in ardor.
Yeah, but I'm from a Luna guy.
Yeah. This is Maphis, the path to peace.
Oh,
Holy shit!
hey! We didn't even have to pray. Also,
That's-
we're so dead.
Oh, we are so dead.
We did it.
Celebris is just standing there in awe.
You and everybody else who has left this building.
Well, good job, guys. We did it.
Celebris is just gonna turn around and start walking back and
Job done.
As you guys
It's like
oh.
Storm's Nest.
I don't think we have to worry about it. He can't get Marshall.
Look, I want to talk to that general regardless of the fancy light guy. So,
Fair enough, let's go.
it's like, I'm gonna go. You guys can gawk like little Aegeans at a rock, but
I was mainly just gonna say, I think we're good, but yeah, you're right. Let's go.
How does everybody feel about ending there for the night?
I'm fine.
I think that's a good spot.
Alright.
Yep.
Alright, good job tonight, guys. I'm going to say that is one of your guys' quest complete. There's a magnate.
We'll see for how long in 4 days.
Let's make it 3 assassinated burnt-off magnates in a month.
Yeah, like
hey, as long as I don't have to stab this one.
Yeah, you guys step back into the council chambers, and Shosinus has stabbed Ariana. And it's like, well, all right, guys, let's get this process started again.
Like, well, shit.
God damn it! Work out.
Morphle for president.
I knew I should have killed you at session 2.
I'm gonna give you guys 1,000 experience right off the bat for that quest line. What else happened tonight?
That.
Yeah.
I've repented with my chantry.
Oh yeah, that was big. I'm gonna give you experience for that, definitely. I'm also gonna give you experience for your conversations with Anadelia tonight.
I learned I'm pulling power from the goddess of death.
Yeah, I'll give you minor for that.
I'm fine with minor.
Somebody let me go talk to the little Aegean general.
Yeah.
That counts, but
that is a part of your plan with Anadelia, as far as, you know, Anadelia knew like what the Chantry was like looking for from them, and you guys were just like, hey, this girl was the person that they were looking for, you know, and she's like, oh, that's who it is. So that you guys have moved to the next step of Reyna's quest.
doesn't sound good.
Well, I mean, for the most part,
Celebrus got me considered for councilman through the Chantry of Harmony.
Yeah, for the most part, I hope, you know, I showed every like character and, you know, like where they stand with each other. Ariana really is the outsider of like the Nakart alliance. As far as there is a plan, you do, you know, like once you join, you do what they say. And Anadelia was just all about like, you are not on board like with how we do business around here. Like, what are you doing? You're insane. So there's going to be a fun dichotomy there of not enemies, but working in literally opposite ways. Anadelia is a spy master. Ariana is a warrior at heart.
I mean, to be
I can
fair,
get both of those things.
and to be fair, Anadelia should respect that because she doesn't like to follow all the rules either.
Yeah, that's true. So there's character growth there. But anyways, so 1,000 for your one quest. I moved you guys up a tier as far as like story experience goes. So I'm giving 500 for each major story moment. Another 1,000 for, you know, the 2 major moments you guys had tonight. For 2,000 minor moment for 2,250. Did anything else happen tonight that I'm missing?
No. Trying to think.
Oh, you know what? I'm also going to give you guys one ding of minor experience for chiming in on the Kiev and Ariana dialogue, because if you guys said nothing, they were going to ramp up eventually until they were just at each other's throats. That was going to put everybody at 2,500 for tonight.
So just 2,500.
Yes.
Level 8.
All right, and your guys' next session is on the 2nd of May. Or I'm sorry, on the 2nd of June.
So I'm going to ask it now while it's on our minds. What should I just go ahead and put my experience at for the fact that as of now, like I'm saying it now, I'm at 47,466.
Set it to 4,000, and I will get you an exact number. Tuesday, like remind me every day until Tuesday. Tuesday's my...
Wait, set it to 4,000? I've gone down levels?
40,000.
40,000.
I thought I said 4. I was like, what? I've gone
He did say 4, but...
Yeah.
It's like, God, I went down levels. Jesus.
Every Tuesday's my first free day this week, so if you remind me like 4 times Tuesday, there's 10 sessions.
I will remind you 7 times Tuesday.
Yeah. I'm gonna end the broadcast.